Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well. Peace and blessings to the elect out there that's pushing this word in all truth and sincerity. Alright, this is going to be a quick video about how the nation of Israel is supposed to be on top. Alright, and it's prophesied and, repeated throughout the scriptures. So without further ado, I'm just going to jump right into it, into the scriptures. This is Revelation 13:10. It says, "He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity, and he that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints." Right? Because, it's prophesied in Revelation, it's also prophesied in Genesis. Let's get it in Genesis 25 and 23. "And the Lord said unto her, two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other, and the elder shall serve the younger." And of course, this is talking about, an angel was telling Rebecca this about Jacob and Esau. And Jacob, was later, his name turned into Israel. And, and he birthed the nation of Israel. All right, so it's prophesied that Esau was to serve Jacob. All right, and that's the nations. All right, it says two nations are in that womb. So the elder is supposed to serve the younger, and the elder was Esau, and the younger was Jacob, who later became Israel. All right. But yeah, and also the covenant that the Most High made with Israel, Deuteronomy the 28th chapter. All right. The first 15 or 14 verses, talks about the blessings that Israel were to receive whenever they hearkened unto the law, statutes, and commandments of the Heavenly Father. And I'm going to read it because it's in the first verse. It says, "And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy power will set thee on high above all nations of the earth." So, right there, boom. Hey, that was a promise that he made with Israel. All right, if you listen to the Lord, then you're gonna be on top of the world. All right, but also whenever you read into the scriptures, or into this chapter, verse 15 on down, all the way through 68, talks about the curses, and we're under the curses right now. Israel is under the curses. How they shall, be in servitude to their enemies. They shall go to their enemies for the want and need of all things. All right, but in Baruch, Baruch 4:18, it says, "For he that brought these plagues upon you, he will deliver you from the hands of your enemies." All right, so all the curses that we're under right now, it's prophesied that we're going to be brought from these plagues and will be delivered from the hands of our enemies. All right, and when that happens, our enemies are going to go under subjection. And there's it's in Psalms chapter 2. Psalms 2 and verse 8. It says, "Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession." So, the Lord's saying, hey, just pray, beg me for it to take the heathen for thine inheritance. All right, because that's what he made the heathen for, is to serve Israel. and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession, because the whole world was created for Israel, and that's in Second Ezra. Um, I want to say the ninth chapter. Them which also come Adam. Kind of need to start up a bit. The sixth chapter, Second Ezra 6. And I'll start at 53. Upon the sixth day thou gavest commandment unto the earth, that before thee it should bring forth beasts, cattle, and creeping things. And after these Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen. Right? Because, people in the world, whether they be heathens or jakes, man, they like to say that, oh, we're all one because we all come from Adam. Say, well, right here it says, of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen. So he's making a separation of, there's a chosen that comes from Adam, and yeah, everybody does come from Adam, but there's also a chosen that comes from Adam. And he goes on to further explain, verse 55, all this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes. All right, now this is Ezra talking, and Ezra was an Israelite. So that R is talking about Israel. Verse 56, as for the other people, which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing, but be like unto spittle, and hast likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. Alright, so those other people that come of Adam that are likened unto the spittle, or a drop that falleth from a vessel. Alright, and now, O Lord, behold, these heathen which have ever been reputed as nothing have begun to be lords over us, to devour us. But we thy people, whom thou hast called, thy firstborn, thy only begotten, and thy fervent lover, are given into their hands. If the world now be made for our sakes, why do we not possess an inheritance with the world? How long shall this endure? All right, and you know, when you read on, there's an ad on the King James. Come on now. When you read Second Ezra, Ezra is always going back and forth, inquiring about the Lord, like, why is Israel like this? But hey, the answer is in Deuteronomy 28. Hey, if you follow the law, statutes, and commandments, you're gonna be blessed. If you don't, you're cursed. And he was inquiring, like, how long shall this endure? Well, until Israel repents, until the elect of Israel repents. All right. Because going back to Baruch 4:18, for he that brought these plagues upon you will deliver you from the hands of the enemies. But the reason why I brought out Second Ezra, the sixth chapter, was mainly to illustrate that there's a chosen that comes from Adam, and then there's the heathen that also come from Adam, right? But the promise was given to Abraham, down to Isaac, down to Jacob, and the Israelites, right? And part of that promise or the covenant was, given the getting the heathen to be our servants. All right. Now this is also Revelation 2. I'll start at 25. It says, but that which ye have already hold fast till I come. And, talking about, the faith, wisdom, and knowledge and understanding of these scriptures. You got to hold on tight to it. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations. All right, so, hey, he's saying the ones that overcome temptation and keepeth, the Lord's works, you're a servant to Yahweh Bashem Shai, you're gonna you're gonna be given power, all right, over these other nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, as the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my Father. So Yahweh Shai was given that power to rule over these nations and break them into shivers. So that same power is going to be given unto, the elect that endure unto the end. And these other nations are going to enjoy it too. All right, after their hardcore servitude, after they reap what they sow, because going back to Revelation 13:10, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the patience and faith of the saints. Because, the saints of the Most High, Israel as a whole, Northern Kingdom, Southern Kingdom, all the way from, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and also the Israelite foreigners. Hey, we've been persecuted via captivity and killed by the sword, wrongfully. So in the kingdom, we're gonna have to give unto the heathen double fold. All right, reward her double. Just to back that statement up real quickly, this is Revelation 18:6. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works, and the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double. All right, because the Israelites were persecuted, you know, way beyond than what we should have suffered. Yeah, we were in captivity, um, because we went off as a nation and started serving other gods. But hey, there's a way according to the scriptures to deal with your slaves and your servants. You're not supposed to just uh, um, separate families and rape the little ones, whether they be male or female, causing them to commit adultery and, just straight up torturing them, man. You know, there's a way that you're supposed to deal with your servants. So that's why we have to reward them double. All right. Um, but, with that in mind, that there is a righteous way to deal with your servants after a while, after the hardcore servitude that we're gonna put on these heathens, man. uh they're gonna like being under us, all right, because when you read Isaiah the second chapter, it says, I'll start at 2. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it. All right. So, hey, Israel is going to be set on top. They're going to have that status, you know, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it. All right. And many people shall go and say, Come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the Most High of Jacob. All right. Israel, the house of Yahweh Bashim El Shai, or the house of the power of Jacob, Israel. And he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. And he shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people. And they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war no more. So they're gonna see that the way we run things is gonna be so good that there no more wars are gonna be fought, and that's heavy, man. Because what are wars mostly fought over? Politics, land, you know, basically different viewpoints. The reason that's the reason why people get into little fights and arguments. Oh well, your viewpoint is off, or oh you handled this wrongly, or oh y'all believe in communism, y'all believe in this, that, and the third, socialism, capitalism, blah 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 blah. But the way Yahweh Bashim Shai runs things through Israel, that's going to be so good that it's going to stop wars, man. And also, too, because, we're going to have the power and they won't be able to do anything about it. But verse 5, O house of Jacob, come ye, and let us walk in the light of the Lord. Therefore thou hast forsaken thy people of the house of Jacob, because they be replenished from the east, and are soothsayers like the Philistines, and they please themselves and the children of strangers. But yeah, that is basically the point, that all nations are going to flow into us. And, end it off with this scripture. This is Proverbs 29:2 to back up the fact that, hey, well, this is plain. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. And this kingdom is vexing as hell, man. You realize that you're oppressed on every side. You can't even breathe without being polluted. There's pollution in the air, pollution in the water that you drink, in the food that you eat. You try to work out, you're actually deteriorating your body. You try to rest, you're deteriorating your body. Can't get proper rest, can't get proper play, can't get proper work. It's just fucked up on all sides, man. But hey, when we're in rule, hey, the people are gonna rejoice. But yeah, there you have it. Israel is supposed to be on top, and yeah, it is racist. But hey, the Most High is racist, and who are you to say that that's wrong? All right, but yeah, with that, I'm gonna give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone who rule well and teach well. Peace and blessings to the elect out there that's pushing this word in all truth and sincerity. Shalom.